Most popular games have a life cycle that goes something like this. The game blows up, new content is created surrounding the game lacks innovation or harbors disinterest, there is possibly another spike which eventually fades, and people slowly stop playing it. Initially, this seemed to be the case for Clash Royale. Launching in 2016, Clash Royale was standing on the success of its sister game, Clash of Clans, which were both developed by the game company Supercell. As you can see here, it was met with immediate praise and success due to its diversity in gameplay compared to Clash of Clans. 33.5 million players created new accounts in 2016. Just the next year, there were 10 million less downloads than the prior, and the year after that, another 10 million dip. The game had a bit of a resurgence in 2021 due to the pandemic and a revamp of their competitive scene, but just 3 years later, they would hit an all-time low of only 11.1 million new accounts in that year. At this point, it really seemed like Clash's life cycle was over. Because, it really did look like it had gone through every stage of the life cycle. You saw it blow up initially. There was a bunch of content created around it. It dipped down because of a lack of updates or people just stopped thinking about it. And then it had its second chance, which doesn't happen for most games. But then it seemed like it was falling off for good this time. In June of 2025, Jynxzi started playing Clash on stream.
It is time for episode 1 of Jynxzi Free to Play.
If you don't know who Jynxzi is, he's one of Twitch's top streamers who primarily plays video games and occasionally clip farms.
I can't stand caps, bro. What do they do?
I don't blame him, to be honest. If I had an audience of 9.1 million followers, I'd probably do the same thing. By the way, I stream on Twitch too. Go show some support. Anyway, the moment Jynxzi got a hold of this game, it started its rare third peak in its life cycle. Their new player count grew by 500%. This was clearly Their new player count grew by 500%. This was clearly a golden opportunity. But would Supercell take this chance to strengthen their community and improve their game? Or would they let greed creep in and destroy them from the inside out? This new wave of players no doubt was a huge opportunity. And for Supercell, this was their last chance to become a staple in gaming history. Don't get me wrong. Clash Royale had already proved to be influential, but the choices they made now determined how the public would see them moving forward. Initially, updates arrived similarly to how they had in the past, adding card evolutions, new cards, and new modes. However, it seemed once Supercell realized the kind of potential their new player base had, things took a turn for the worst. On November 24th, Supercell would add an update extending the max level for cards from level 15 to 16.
Today was a great day. Today was a 11 out of 10, bro. And then this absolute pool of diarrhea gets dumped on top of my chest. Let's dive into it.
This didn't improve the game in any way, just a cheap way to make their top players fork over more money. The cash grabs didn't stop there. A few weeks later, they would announce Heroes, a new paid version of pre-existing cards which offered an extra ability. Again, another blatant attempt at taking money. Jynxzi and his fan base weren't big fans of these updates.
Alright guys, let's read the comments. Supercell, there is still time to delete this video and cancel the update, and we can all act as if nothing ever happened. That has 11,000 likes.
Over time, Clash would continue to be filled with more paid features, which left a sour taste in the community's mouth. Instead of focusing on features their fans actually wanted, Supercell prioritized profit over playability, and they would soon face the consequences. For months, the community had to put up with all these updates that seemed to indicate that Supercell was just there for the money. So on October 6, 2025, Jynxzi would upload a video called I'm Quitting Clash Royale, where he would announce that he would no longer be streaming the game.
You know what? Let's make a stand. Let's make a stand, bro. Nobody spend a dime on this game until they stop releasing Heroes. Yeah, I'm not giving them another penny. There's no way. I'm not buying another, like, card until they stop releasing heroes. Who is in control of these decisions? Guys, literally everyone and their mother who plays this game has complained about level 16 and heroes. Let's keep releasing heroes. Everybody who plays this game hates heroes. Let's release a first batch of heroes, then a second batch of heroes, then a third batch of heroes, then a fourth batch, then a fifth batch. Oh wait, we have 7 people playing the game right now?
Following his call to stop spending money on the game, profits dropped. While the numbers haven't been released for February of 2026, estimates for early 2026 put it around $36 million, which is a far cry from the $58 million only weeks prior. Seemingly to insult Jynxzi while walking out the door, the CEO of Supercell himself would write a blog post recapping the massive year that Clash Royale had. Quote, every measure of playtime and engagement grew significantly. So what drove Royale's explosion in 2025? It actually started before last year. The team made changes to progression, simplified the game by removing extraneous systems, and added desirable new content. No, you didn't. Look, I can't think of anything less desirable than heroes. You kept adding these new cards that just have a paywall that you have to get through to unlock them. And I say new with air quotes because they're not even really new cards. They're the same cards you've already made, just with extra power-ups. Not only this, but they didn't mention creators or Jynxzi by name once in the entire blog post. So not only do they not know why they're getting popular, but they're also taking all the credit for themselves. In response to this nonsense, Jynxzi put out a tweet that said, probably the biggest spit in the face I've ever seen.
No, I don't care if my name didn't come up. The problem is they tried to take credit for the game being successful. That's what I have a problem with. They tried to take credit for doing absolutely, not like they did nothing, doing the worst possible things they could have did. Doing the worst possible things they could have did, and then they have the audacity to take credit. This is insane. Read the replies. This is Mr. Beast, by the way. Biggest YouTuber in the world. I only started playing the game again because of you. Courage JD, I've only watched / engaged with Clash Royale content because of you. It was honestly the most interested I've ever been with the game and its life cycle. Agent, not gonna lie, I thought they would give you equity from how hard you were pushing it. They owe you some millions.
It's clear that Supercell isn't interested in anything but money and aren't even aware of the reasons why their game suddenly got so popular. At this point in time, they're definitely wishing they played the situation differently. While it seems Supercell was ignorant to the reason for their success, they couldn't push it away for too long. After seeing an outrage the blog sparked, the CEO added a section to the original post.
2 days later, 48 hours later, the CEO of Supercell has actually issued an apology. Creators like Jynxzi returned to the game with incredible passion, investing their own time, money, and energy into bringing Clash Royale back to the cultural relevance and introducing many new players, including some of the biggest names in streaming to the game. A couple of things I want to say about this. The first thing, I do appreciate that he said my name and shouted out creators. He definitely could have shouted out more people than me. The next thing I want to say, would this apology even be a thing if he didn't see the loads of backlash? Honestly, unbiasedly, would this apology be a thing if he didn't see loads of backlash on Twitter? Probably not. Like, let's just be honest. The bigger problem with this is what happened. The CEO, also, I looked it up. This guy's not even just a CEO. This guy's a co-founder. This guy has skin in the game. Like, this guy's a co-founder of Supercell, right? So, if I'm the CEO of a company and I have a game, right, that has its best year ever in 2016, and then 9 years later, in 2025, this game has the most miraculous explosion breakout year ever. If I'm the CEO of that company, the first thing I would be doing is asking so many questions, right? Because with this statement, what I'm reading here is that he didn't even No.
This seemed to be a step in the right direction, but it would take more than this to get the community back on their side. Jynxzi would later make a list showing Supercell the things they needed to do to improve their game. This time they seemed to listen and provided a roadmap that implemented a few of these changes, until 4 days later when they announced 2 new heroes. In the end, greed really corrupted this company, which blinded them to their golden opportunity. In my opinion, there's not much coming back from this. I mean, their whole community distrusts them now, and their biggest streamer has quit the game. Like Jynxzi said, if I'm the CEO of this company and my game randomly blows up, I'm asking a ton of questions to see why my game blew up and new ways to keep it exciting and entertaining for the community. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Please like, subscribe. I upload every Monday and Friday, so if you like this type of content, consider tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.